So my name is Shaheem Watkins, and we'll be talking about police brutality in the United States. This has been going on since the 1900s, and it's taking a toll on everybody. Everyone knows about George Floyd, but after that incident, there has been a large number of protests that has been going on, just to show like what's going on and how many people have been dying, or African Americans have been dying because of the brutal force. There has been 1,068 people who has died or who has been killed because of policemen since George Floyd death. Retaliation by policemen is widely known, and there isn't a week that goes by where there isn't an incident involving police brutality. Everybody know about George Floyd. Like I said, he was a 46-year-old black man in Minneapolis, and he died over a $20 counterfeit bill. I mean, come on. Clerk reported him to an officer because he thought the bill was counterfeit, and unfortunately a cop left his knee on George Floyd's neck, and y'all know the rest. Y'all know what happened. There has been Michael Brown out of Ferguson, Missouri, 18-year-old, killed, gunned down by police officers. And a lot of people know about this one, Dontre Hamilton. He was a black man. He was sleeping on a park bench, and I want to say a Starbucks worker, she called the cops about him because he was sleeping on a park bench. However, two cops arrived on scene, and they patted him down, they searched him, and they let him go. I mean, he was just sleeping on the bench. He wasn't harming anybody. However, one cop arrived on scene, and he had different plans. He was talking to Dontre Hamilton, and unfortunately, things escalated. They said Dontre Hamilton has schizophrenia, so whatever was happening with that, however, the cop ended up shooting him 14 times. I mean, come on. Then you have Jayland Walker. This happened in 2022. I wouldn't say last month. This was recently. Cop shot and killed Jayland Walker, shooting him 60 times as he was running on foot. I mean, it sounds crazy and all, but 60 times is crazy. That's ridiculous. I mean, you have a taser, you have all of these things, and he's on foot. He was unarmed, by the way. All of these victims were unarmed. So keep that in mind. We have the Black Lives Matter movement, and Say Their Name, and the Say Their Name encourages publications or social media users to identify the victims, also to pay respect. I mean, at the end of the day, they were human, and you need to focus on their humanity. We need to demilitarize the police. I mean, they have too much force. They have armored trucks, armored cars, tanks, armored suits. I mean, tear gas. They're shooting rubber bullets out of canisters at these protests because people are being violent. But where was this when those people was storming the Capitol? I mean, they just have too much force. I feel like a thing that would help is African Americans knowing their rights and laws. I mean, not a lot of people know their rights and laws, and they get stuck in situations, or they just react differently because policemen try to take advantage of people who don't know their rights and laws. Like, for example, under the Fourth Amendment, we're protected from unlawful search. I mean, any unlawful search trying to be performed is unconstitutional, and that cop or whatever needs to be fired immediately. We need more policemen reflecting the community that they're policing. For example, we need Latino cops, folks in the Latino communities, or African-American cops in the African-American communities, so on and so on. Even though that's dang near impossible, I mean, it's just something to look at because the ethnicity and the different groups and how many people working is just a difficult task. But we just need to fix this situation by not having a trigger finger. I mean, these cops are trigger happy. Now, I'm not saying all cops are, but the ones, you know, I'm not saying all cops are bad, but the ones who are trigger happy and stuff, we need to work on trying to de-escalate situations without having their hand on the gun. Like, they're just trigger happy, which I don't understand because policemen are the most highly trained individuals on the planet. Like, why are you so eager to pull out that gun and use it? I mean, seriously, a lot of these victims were unarmed, and they're being shot multiple times, 60 times, 40 times, 20 times, 10 times. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Like, you're unloading clips on unarmed individuals. The best thing I can think of is just don't give policemen a reason to pull you over or arrest you, because it's scary. I mean, there's been times where cops just follow you around, they're just looking for an inch. They're looking for anything to pull you over, and you don't know where it's going to go from there. You know, seeing stories or seeing these movements of unarmed black men being killed. I mean, it's scary because a bullet has no name, and you know, you have family, you have a life, and it's scary to when it comes to that. So it's like, just don't even give them a reason. There's been times where I've been followed for miles just because of my car and who they see driving in it. So it's like they're assuming that there's going to be something because of who they see driving a car or driving my car. So it's like, bro, it's scary, and I hope things change, because recently there was a shooting, like I said, with Jayland Walker, who he was shot 60 times, and that was recent. So it's like, when is this going to end? It's been going on since the 1900s, and it's been over 1,000, maybe 3,000 deaths involving policemen. So I just wanted to end.